Good day, it's Althea from the Bible in 1 year. Today we spend time in Job 4-8, Friendships that Matter. Last week we talked about Job that lost everything in chapters 1-3. His wealth, his family, and his health. Job sits on the rubbish heap, scraping the boils on his body with a piece of broken pottery. His 3 friends come to visit him in his agony. At first they were silenced by what they saw, and for 7 days they could not utter a word. Eventually Job could not hold his pain in any longer and wail out, cursing the day he was born. This wailing of Job opens the floor for his friends to speak. They felt, sitting 7 days with Job in his agony earns them the right to speak. They said, looking from the outside into your life, Job, gives us a perspective that you cannot see. You are too shaken, emotionally distressed to see the clear meaning of all of this. In chapter 4, Eliphaz could not hold in any longer, and he says, "You are impatient and intolerant, Job. Is the fear of God not your confidence? Has God ever destroyed the upright? As I have seen, those who plough wickedness and sow trouble, by the breath of God they perish, and by the blast of his anger they are consumed. If you have this amount of agony, you must have sinned somewhere. If this is the fruit, then you must have sown the seed." In Galatians 6 verse 7 we read, "Do not be deceived, God is not mocked. He will not allow himself to be ridiculed, nor treated with contempt, nor allowed his precepts to be scornfully set aside. For whatever a man sows, this and this only is what he will reap." Eliphaz is right, but he is also totally unaware of what happened in chapter 1 and 2. In chapter 5, Eliphaz says, "If I were you, I would seek God and inquire him. Make right with God." Job's response in chapter 6 verse 14, "For the despairing man there should be kindness from his friend, so that he does not turn away from the fear of the Almighty." Eliphaz, you are my friend. Should you not comfort me? Give me hope? Job continues, "If I did sin, I deserve punishment." But in verse 24, Job says, "I do not understand. Teach me, and I will be silent, and show me how I have erred." In chapter 7, Job says, "It will be better for me to die. Death will free me. What is a man that you, God, should magnify him?" In verse 20 again he asks, "If I have sinned, what harm have I done you?" In chapter 8, Bildad takes a turn to say what's on his heart. Eliphaz was diplomatic in speaking out, but Bildad rebuked Job for standing up against Eliphaz. Both did not consider Job's pain. They say the same thing, but Bildad is just mean. In verse 4 he says, "Your children have sinned against him. Then he has handed them over to the power of the transgressions and punished them. Seek God now before you too die." He uses a word picture about the papyrus to make his point. The past is not to hold us back, it is to steer us. The papyrus reeds cannot flourish without water. There is a cause and an effect in your life. These reeds are fragile. Your life was like a show-off, but now it is without true trust in God. In verse 20, Bildad says, "Behold, God will not reject a man of integrity, nor will he strengthen our support evildoers." In other words, Job, because you are cast out, you must have evil somewhere in your life. Bildad is right, but he also doesn't know what God said to Satan about Job in chapter 1 and 2. He does not know about Satan's plan to make life as hard as possible for Job, to entice him to blame God. We must remember the conversation between Satan and God in chapter 1 and 2. The truth here is God knows Job as a righteous man, blameless and upright, one who fears God with reverence and abstains from and turns away from evil because he honors God. Satan wished to destroy this testimony of Job. This should open our eyes towards the adversary of other people. We might know what the Word of God is teaching us. We might even know right from wrong. We might know the consequences of sin. We might even recognize fruit born from sin. Knowing all of this don't earn us the right to judge or to justify our own beliefs. We do not know what happens in the spiritual realm. Everything is not revealed to us. There is one rule about pain, and that is pain demands attention. We should recognize pain and give it the attention it demands. Thereafter, we should comfort, love, and try to understand the pain someone is struggling with. We must learn to only speak when God prompts us to speak. And then we should only say what God is pressing on our hearts. We should uplift, encourage, and always give hope. We should offer friendship that matters. May you be blessed. Goodbye.